All right, let's call the meeting, the board, actually at 8:30 a.m. or directly on time. Thank you for that. As you rise and repeat pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for a moment of silence.
All right.
Thank you. All right, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll approve the agenda. Second.
Moved and second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. So ordered. Also need a motion to approve the minutes from the previous board meeting.
Move to approve. I'll second.
Any discussion?
I'd probably do that.
All those in favor, raise your hand. So ordered.
Yeah, I think right.
We have any tax dispositions?
I think we have 4. Maybe 3.
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Going to end up being 8.
Let's see if I can make it. You put
And fills 2 pieces of paper. That's good.
it is.
Thank you. Same people.
Yeah.
Laurel, Mississippi. Hopefully they did.
Put, I mean,
Trailhead.
Trailhead. We did.
oh, it's billboards. Yes, a billboard company.
Good.
When they filed their business personal property return this year, and after review, something told me that they should have been filing prior returns. So I reached out to her, and she said that when she looked, that yes, she said that there were years that they should have filed, but they didn't. So this is going back and capturing those values for those prior years.
Jesus 21.
Mm-hmm.
And it's their account that found it.
Your account.
That's all. It's a new account. Okay.
That's
Interesting. Wow.
keep it that.
It's a good thing.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Need a motion to approve the tax dispositions we just signed.
Motion we approve. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. So ordered. Do we have any 30-day assessment notice?
Please do.
Auto.
Take 41. Press. Yes, do you?
Yeah. It's I
Better make the list again.
shit.
All Bart, you still on the list. Don't worry about that.
You're on a list. You may not be in this list. H. But H. Looks about right. Sure. Sure.
Thank you.
Need a motion to approve the 30-day assessment notice list we just reviewed and signed.
Motion to approve. I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. So ordered. Old business.
All right, before I forget it again, we've got our wind gap contract for the coming year. And I've already signed where I'm supposed to sign. We agree with all the stipulations that they gave us for our tier county. But I need the signature also of the chair of the Board of Assessors.
Oh, if my confidence to be.
Mind if I take a look at what I'm studying?
You just go right ahead.
I should say, guess what? Ouch. That. But
Roy, this was a little bit older, but I was just curious. Do you remember what the ratio studies were from the Department of Revenue? Off the top of your head?
Actually, you're probably referring to the Department of Audit
Yeah.
studies. They're the ones that do it every year.
Yeah.
We haven't got the 24 yet. They're still working on that. But the most recent one we got, we were all within specifications where we needed to be. Is we've sent out assessment notices. We've run ratio studies in-house that y'all approved earlier. I've double checked all the commercial stuff and everything. As far as we can tell, everything's gonna be in compliance again. But we met the coefficient dispersion, the price related differential, and the level of assessment. And I don't expect for the findings in 2024 to be any different.
okay, good.
Yeah, I'll need to look at what I just signed for Wind Gap. It's our annual contracts to the,
Monday minute.
yeah.
This,
I don't need to sign it, but
I'm not sure what we're getting into.
Well, it's what they provide for the fee that the county pays.
He's happy to get.
And they do a pretty good job of providing a service.
Is it 3,500 per year?
Yeah.
Cheap.
It's very cheap.
Yeah.
Most of the Georgia counties have gone to WinGap. The counties that have proprietary software spend over $100,000 a year for the same product.
That's,
Yeah,
our inspection would be more than that.
well, in some cases it is. Cherokee County, for years and years, would not change. And finally, everybody talked to them and showed them, so they're saving a whole lot of money because they've gone to that program too.
We've been using this for years.
Yeah, we were one of the first counties that went originally. It was Gap Group Incorporated, and we've been with them probably as long as anybody. It was a really good decision back then.
I'm just looking at the different tier levels here.
Yeah.
Send.
I did sign it.
You did sign it? Well, that's good. That's all good. Thanks, sir.
No problem.
Stephanie, can you think of anything else under old business?
You know,
Bart, you've got a good memory.
Oh, yeah. Where am I? Nothing I can think of. Gentlemen,
I think it's really important that we're within our margins on our audits because Ed probably was aware there's a lot of question on that.
yeah, it might come up as a bit.
Please.
We'll move to new business.
All right, one of the things that I'm working on right now is we've got to get our budget together for next year. So I'm trying to get that together and present that. One of the things that I've talked to y'all about before and I want to try to do, I might even look at getting a personal property vendor in here, to take a load off the staff. But I have not been able to talk to anybody yet about what those costs might be. So I don't have any answers on that.
And when you say personal property, you're talking like boats and stuff like that.
All the machinery, equipment, furniture, fixtures, all the personal property accounts.
It's still going out there and just like you. And I guess we scout me.
Good luck.
Yeah.
The biggest thing also under new business is our assessment notices are out. We've had a good response from the public coming in. Actually, I brought a copy of the progress where Dan Poole's wife, Christy, came by to interview me. And I didn't think anybody could do a newspaper article that would kind of explain this because there's so many new things to it, but I think she did a really good job. And I actually called her and complimented her. I said, Christy, I think you did as good a job as anybody could have done. The biggest thing that we're running into with people is getting them to come in and let us explain, especially the homesteaded properties, let us explain to them how this new House Bill 581 and House Bill 92 works on their FSW, floating statewide exemption. Because they've never seen anything like that before and they have to really show them in the computer how it actually works. And one thing that our staff has to do, our computer has a hard time making sure that it calculates correctly all the time, because the thing about this exemption is it's different for everybody. It's not the same number. It depends on your first house, up to 5 acres. There's so many variables. It doesn't count accessory improvements, which could be barns, swimming pools, stuff like that. So you have to really double check, and our staff has had to do a bunch of manual calculations before we sent assessment notices to double check a lot of this stuff and everything. And
during this 45 days, we're going through and double checking stuff again. So hopefully by the time that we turn the digest over, it'll have accurate numbers on how it calculates these exemptions. Anything else on news you can think of, Stephanie?
No.
So what, are we going back and looking at values? We're getting a lot of people calling about the.
We'll have a lot of people come in. We'll have a lot of people call too. We're getting back in touch with them. We'll get them to give us their property ID number. We'll tell them what it is. The thing you got to remember, when they see their total value, they don't know what makes up that total value. They don't know that part of it's land, part of it's house, part of it's other buildings, okay? When they come in and look at it, they understand it better. We break it down, and then if they got an issue with any of those, they can provide us better information. So that's pretty much how it works.
Right.
And if you tell them, if they got an increase in their house and land, but you tell them there's not going to be an increase because of this new bill, it's hard for them to believe that. We're government, okay? You got to show them how that works. And on that assessment notice, it will have the bigger exemption down there, okay? But they don't know what that means. So you have to show people and explain that to them.
I'm still looking at the values going up though.
Yeah.
Their values are still
Yeah.
climbing pretty.
Oh yeah, the values are really going up, especially if something hadn't been updated in a while. Then there's some that we have pretty good values on that maybe our updates might have overdone, but they'll bring us in information and we'll review it. We caught a lot of that before we sent notices. There's some we're still having to deal with. But yeah, values, the market change, the last 3 to 4 years has changed drastically. And so a lot of people are seeing that.
I think the biggest issue is where we're getting assessed from last year to this year. They're, myself included,
Yeah.
$100,000 increases.
Yeah.
I think we're trying to go every 3 years for properties, but some are getting it every year. I know some of them got 25% increase. I got about 12. And
Yeah, we catch it. We catch it if we try to update as often as needed. Okay. When we do that, people don't like that. But then when we wait a while and do it, they don't like that. But you're gonna have it all over the place. Okay. But what we're trying to do, we're watching that market, trying to follow it, and try to get as close to that market for our studies as we can get. And it ain't easy because things aren't stagnant. Things are changing.
yeah, I think that this where some never, like we have a set way we're doing the updates, like maybe sections of the county at a time or something. That would help.
We every year, Stephanie, I tell you, we update a bunch of properties every year, okay? This year, in compliance with this new law, they're telling us to be more aggressive. Make sure you hit stuff at least every 3 years, okay? So what Stephanie did, she got with all of our field people and everything, and yes, we're looking at the whole county. There's a lot of stuff over the county, but systematically, she's doing grids. She's sending out the field appraisers. They're doing grids, updating information on parcels and everything. So we're doing that. We've got a plan for the 3 years to catch everything.
I think you definitely got the aggressive part. I got mine 3 years in a row now.
Yeah.
Quit buying property.
Well, that's where I lived.
That's what we need to go to the grid, because if we're doing it every 3 years, some properties are getting it every year. I know mine's one of them.
Well, my wife says too.
Yeah.
I understand.
They ought to see the same number for 2 out of 3 years if we're doing three.
We must have
every 3
changed that
years.
property, and we have implemented that this year on the map.
So
There's
that's
a
in here
third,
this
and
year.
for this year. Then next year, we're going to the second third, which will be more in the middle.
Yeah.
Then the following year will be the last third of the county. And then by then, 1, 2, 3 has passed. It's time to wrap back around
That's
to start with that. Because, we talked about this last year, and I told you we had a plan in place,
Yeah.
but we got it going.
that's what
Yeah.
I want to. I don't mind necessarily the updates. It's just if this house over here has not been updated in 3 years and mine's updated every year, I can't explain that. So
Yeah, that I
there's
understand.
grids that makes.
Yeah.
That makes a lot.
Because that's the methodology
So
that
that
can be
started-
explained, it can be shown and
Yeah.
explained.
So that started, I guess, this last year. So where are we at now? We in the second?
So we in
For
the first grid.
2026, we'll be in the second section. So for this year in 25 was the first third of the county for 25. And then next year for 26 will be the second third. The 27 will be the third third.
Yes,
The 28 will put us back to the
That makes more
3 years
sense.
full.
Yeah.
Because House Bill 581, I mean, it specifically says that the assessor's office will have to reevaluate properties every 3 years, so.
Well, that's the only time we get out of those sections will be a new build. Or
Yeah, unless the property does something to change.
purchase or
Yeah.
something.
Or unless I own it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Brian,
Brian knows it's gonna be every year.
every 6 months.
Yeah.
I don't.
Do we have any other new business?
The only other thing I'll tell you is, I think we're gonna do aerials again for next year. That seems to be working out real good with all the new construction. Because everybody wants to see what's there. They don't want to see 2 and 3 year old photography. So we're gonna do that again for next year. I want to brag on our tri-state people about getting that processed as quickly as they do.
And I think we found, my personal opinion is this year is because we are consistent with yearly updates, we seem to get the result quicker.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a lot to catch up on.
Yes.
So how are we doing that with such a small staff?
Well,
We're flying planes.
that's why you hear me talk about getting outside help. Did we update you that we lost one of our field appraisers last meeting?
Yeah.
Well, now another one of our clerks is out for surgery, and she'll be out for a while and everything. It is so hard, and it's not just our county, it's every other county. It is so hard to find people that are willing to come in and get the education that's required and do this work and stay here. It is so hard to do. We don't have people lined up wanting a job. And we'll talk to people. We'll say, please come in, come to work. We think you'd be good. They're just not out there. And I think other county positions are running into that. So I think in the future, you're gonna see some more vendor help that we're gonna have because our county's not getting smaller, it's getting bigger. It's all we could do to keep up with new construction this year with the weather and all the other chores that are on us and everything. But we're looking for people. We try to tell them the benefits of government, long-term benefits and stuff like that. But it's hard to get them. It's hard to get them that can get along with people that are smart enough to do the job and stay here. All those things.
Well, I know we need staff, but sometimes it's more cost effective to use
Yeah.
vendor. So-
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we'll move down to guest comments. We have no guests, there'll be no comments. Motion to adjourn is in order.
Oh, motion we adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, raise your hand. So ordered. Meeting is adjourned at 8:54 a.m.